Leveling the Bubble. This book represents my thoughts, experiences, and conclusions. I do not speak for the United States Army, the Department of War, the Department of Veterans Affairs, or any organization I have served with or worked for. I speak for myself. Every opinion in these pages is mine. Every mistake is mine. Every truth I got right, I earned the hard way. If you have a problem with what follows, the address is me. Throughout this book, I use a phrase that every veteran will understand without explanation, and every civilian will misunderstand without this page. The phrase is the system.
When a veteran hears the system, they do not hear one thing. They hear everything. They hear the Department of War that trained them, deployed them, and separated them with a handshake and a folder. They hear the Department of Veterans Affairs, VEA, that is supposed to catch them on the other side. The appointments, the claims, the waiting rooms, the forms. They hear the United States Congress that writes the laws, funds the programs, holds the hearings, and moves on to the next news cycle. They hear the defense contractors who build the weapons and the lobbyists who sell the wars. They hear the policies that govern which treatments are approved and which are considered crimes. They hear the civilian population that ties a yellow ribbon on a tree and calls it support. The system is not one institution, it is an architecture. It is the entire machine, from the recruiter who signs you up at 17 to the congressman who gives a speech on Veterans Day to the employer who sees your resume and does not know what to do with it to the neighbour who says, "Thank you for your service," and changes the subject. It is the military that builds you, the bureaucracy that processes you, the government that funds you, the culture that either worships you or fears you, and the economy that has no idea where to put you. It is every hand that touches a veteran's life and every hand that doesn't when it should.
When I say the system failed, I am not pointing at one building. I am pointing at the entire chain, every link in it, from the decision to go to war to the decision to look away from what that war did to the people who fought it. The system is the sum of every institution, every policy, every cultural norm, and every act of well-meaning indifference that sits between a person who served and the life they are trying to live now.
This matters because the system's greatest trick is diffusion. No single part of the system believes it is the problem. The Department of War says it trained you well and separated you properly. The VA says it offers world-class care to anyone who walks through the door. Congress says it has passed historic legislation and increased funding. The civilian world says it supports the troops. Everyone has done their part, every box has been checked, and somehow 20 veterans a day are still dying by suicide. Somehow the veteran unemployment rate still spikes after separation. Somehow veteran homelessness still exists in the wealthiest nation in history. Somehow the people who were trusted with the most dangerous work on earth cannot get a straight answer on a disability claim. Everyone did their part. Nobody owns the outcome. That is the system. It is not a conspiracy. It is not malice. It is something worse. It is machinery. It is the predictable result of 100 institutions, each operating within its own lane, each measuring its own metrics, each checking its own boxes, and none of them responsible for the human being who falls through the space between them. The system does not hate you. It does not see you. It sees your file. It sees your claim number. It sees your appointment slot. It sees the box that needs to be checked to keep its own performance metrics green. And when you fall through the cracks, and you will fall through the cracks, because the cracks are built into the architecture, no single part of the system will claim you as its failure, because no single part of the system failed. The system failed, and the system is no one.
So when you see that word in these pages, understand what it means. It means all of it. The whole machine, the entire apparatus that a nation built to wage its wars, and then wash its hands of the people who fought them, Not one building, not one department, not one party or one administration. The system. Now we can begin.